So today we coding with Nhlanhla. Hey, hey, hey. Coding with Nhlanhla. Hey, hey, hey. We coding with Nhlanhla. Hey, hey, hey.
That's why we coding with Nhlanhla. Hey, hey, hey. We coding with Nhlanhla. Hey, hey, hey. We coding with Nhlanhla.
How's that?
I don't know.
Hey guys, welcome back to another video. This is my IMAD5112 assignment 1, and I am Nhlanhla. Can't wait to get started with this with you guys today. Let's get this party on the road, and yeah, let's engage. So, my close friend Hera has been struggling, and by struggling, I mean she's been struggling with finding the right meals to eat due to busy days. So she really doesn't have the important nutrients that she needs for the day to get her day started, and that becomes very frustrating for her. So, what she's asked me to do, she came to me and asked me and said, Nhlanhla, please can you develop an app for me that's easy to use and that's very fun. So like a fun interactive app, she said. She's like, okay, Hera, I can do that for you. What are the following requirements do you want in this app? She told me the following requirements that she wants in this app is that it must have a user interface, there must be an input time of day, and this app must display suggestions of meals that she can enjoy during the time of day she inputs. And this app must also include a reset button to clear her current information. So, with all that information, I told her, don't worry, Hannah, I got you covered. I'll create you an app and I'll get back to you and you'll tell me your thoughts on this app. So, today I'll be explaining to you about my app called The Munchies. It's a meal planner app that I've created for suggesting meals at current times because there's always those days where we feel like we don't have time to make food and we don't know what to eat, so we need an app to suggest for us, which is more practical. So let's get into it, and yeah. So what I first want to do is click onto project, app, and what I'm first gonna insert is I'm gonna first insert my display and show you the ins and outs of my display screen, my XML file. Let me just insert a picture to make it look pretty. So as you can see from the get-go, this is my user interface. This is what the user will be seeing. So the function of this app is for the user to enter a certain time or the current time of day that's on their watch, their phone, wherever time is displayed. They will enter the current time, press the check time button, which will indicate to them the time of day. After they click on the time of day, they're gonna click on the view meal button, which will then take them to a second screen showing them the desired meal or suggested meal for that time allocation. So with regards to the XML design, what I have used in my XML design, I've used the following. In my layout, I used a linear layout with a drawable background that I've created myself on canvas. Orientation kept it to vertical with the padding at 25. The following palettes that I've used for this XML file. I've used the text view to display the heading to welcome the user to the app. I displayed an edit text so that the user can input the current time. We then go on to the text view. This text view will indicate the time of day after the user has inputted the time, then press check time. It'll tell the user the time of day. All right. And for my buttons, in order to keep them next to each other, I had to implement a constraint layout. Within this constraint layout, I can move my buttons and place them anywhere within the palette, which gives me no restrictions to where I want to place my buttons. And as you can see, with my buttons, I gave them their own unique IDs and their unique labels, which is the text. For color scheme, I decided to go with a goldish color, it's kind of a putty color. It's like a putty brown. So I went with that type of color. It really catches the user's attention. For text size, I roughly rounded up to 20, which the user can clearly depict and see the button, so they don't confuse the buttons that they have to press. Going on to the clear button, I've initiated the clear button so that the user can clear the information that they've entered. So if they want to enter a different current time, because as we all know, time changes every second, every minute, every hour. So That's the use of the clear button, so the user can clear the information and enter a new time. So with that, the next thing I initiated was an exit button. The reason for this exit button is so that the user can exit the app. Once they've done everything that they required or they need from the app, they can simply exit and the app will shut down. Another design plan is I've created the following screens to depict my meal suggestions. So if you can take a look at the following meal suggestions, let me just insert them under my resource manager. So we have my XML2. This is the breakfast meal option. As you can see, within the breakfast meal option, I have inserted 4 images, of a text view, 4 edit text, including 2 buttons. Well, as you can see, I've inserted 2 buttons. For what reason, you may ask? I've inserted a back button to indicate to the user that they can return back to the home screen, and as they return to the home screen, they can return to the main function and change the current time if they're feeling they want to eat something else. With the proceed button, it also takes the user back to the home screen, but the only difference is once it takes the user to the home screen, they are presented with a toast. What is a toast, you may ask? A toast is a short message that a floating message that displays to the user after a function has been performed. So after the user presses the proceed button, what should happen is they will get a nice message telling them your meal shall be prepared shortly, and that should be the end of that, and tells them now they can either exit the app or they can enter another time. So with this structure that I've designed, I have implemented the structure to majority of my XML files of the different meal options. I've implemented it to the brunch, I've implemented it to the lunch, implemented to snack time, dinner, and dessert, which you can all see. They all have a variety and different images with different headings and different layouts. Same structure, they all have the same structure. So, with regards to how I implemented the function, this is where we move on to our main Kotlin file, because this is where all my screens are going to be linked and where I'm going to provide a function to my app. So I've created the user interface, providing it a nice display to the user. Now it's time to explain how I how I integrated the functionality. Let's get into it. So I'm just going to click on project and close my XML. So with regards to the Kotlin file, I just go to Kotlin Java and go to the Kotlin example and the name of my app. And kicking off, we go to main activity 1, the main activity. So as you can see in the main activity, what I've initiated is I've imported all the information that I've displayed on my XML file to indicate that I am transferring all my information to my Kotlin file where I'm gonna provide its functions. This is going to indicate that it'll tell the system that the following things you've designed are going to be implemented on the function side. And yeah, so what I first declared is I declared a private variable for my view meal button. Why, may you ask? To indicate, the reason is that so if the once this app goes to another programmer, it can't be changed. It can only remain the same, and only the original user can implement this function, so that no one can change it later on. As late years go by, and I decide to change the app, I'd have to physically come back to the original app, change the private function to make it so that I can edit it later on if I decide to change the app and upgrade. And I did this majority for the view meal button and check time button, and also for my time of day text, which will implement. Another thing I inputted was I inputted a variable for my time input. Moving on to our override function. This is where the real fun begins. So with this, I have declared my IDs and their references. Because if you don't declare your IDs and references, the app won't know where to apply certain functions to without proper IDs. So as you can see, I provided my time input ID, time of day text, check time button, view meal button, clear button, and also the exit button, along with the reference IDs. What I then implemented is I initiated a check time button on a click listener. The function of this is to to depict or determine the amount of times the button has been clicked in order to perform its function. So with this, the aim of the app is to show the user once they click the check time button, it shall link to the the text display showing them the time of day. Then same goes along with the clear button, where once they press the clear button, it'll it'll erase the previous information that the user has integrated or entered, which will result in the user typing new information. As goes along for the exit button, which I previously explained moments ago, whereby it'll shut down the app. This is where I perform the function to shut down the app. And now, this is where I indicated a private function for my check time. This is where I'll be entering a certain range and also error handling. I'm sure you're asking, what is error handling, if you may ask? Handling is our day-to-day human errors that a user can make on the app. So, with regards to the time range, the check time and update text, this is the function I've implemented to my check time button. This is where it'll indicate that this is where it'll deal with errors, as I explained in moments ago. The different types of errors that we as people can make by entering the wrong character, the the wrong number, the incorrect time, or writing it in words, and so forth. Errors. So what I've initiated is I've set the time. I used an if statement to set the time to equate to an, a null, or indicate or to equate to time. So with the time, I set it in a range from in an integer range whereby it will be set from 0 to 2359. But as we will read it, we type it as an integer, but read it as a digital time, as in for 2359 2359 will be read as 2359, which is 1 minute till midnight, right? And what I've initiated is, if there's with regards to the format, I've declared to the user that if they enter an invalid time outside of this range, or enter the time in terms of words or symbols, or add a colon in between the digits, it will tell them invalid time, and here's an example of how you should write it. Another error handling issue I have dealt with is when the user, which I discussed moments ago, this is where it depicts if the user doesn't enter a time within these time ranges that I have set up. This is I got this inspiration for this time range from the check generation app, a previous app of mine in which I designed in class. That's where the inspiration came from. And if anything else or any time range that is entered which is not part of this range, it should tell the user that, sorry, this is an invalid time range. And that clears up the typing an invalid time range. Another another error handling issue is if the user decides to just click the check time button without entering the current time, or if the user decides to click the view meal button without entering a time, or clicking the check time button first, what should happen is the user will be displayed with a toast indicating to them that please enter a valid time first, and it'll give them an example of how the time indicated represents our normal everyday time on our digital watches to make the user understand. With regards to the other main activities, what I did is I have linked all my XML files with the different mail options with a intent. And I have replicated the functions of my back button and my proceed button, which will result in it performing the same function on either screen from XML screen 2 to XML screen 7. We should provide the same function and link to the main menu. So what we're going to do now is we're going to test the app and see all the things I've been telling you and test it out. So let's just close this. And with my emulator, the emulator I've chose today is a Pixel 8 Pro API. It's that high quality Pixel Pro. So let's get this app started and I can show you how the app runs. So as you can see, the app it greets you with a warm message. Welcome to Demanches. So what I'm first gonna type in is the current day time. It is 8:43. So I would type it as 843. Press check time. It tells me it's the time of day, morning. Now I can clear this option, which clearly works, and enter the time again, 843. Check time, time of day, morning, view meal. It takes me to the breakfast page, and I am introduced to various meals to my choosing. And let's say I'm feeling the bacon wrapped French toast. I simply pick my item, press the proceed button, and it takes me back to the home screen with a nice toast saying, "Your meal shall be prepared shortly." Let's try that again, and let's say I'm not feeling having breakfast. Let me type, and I can show you how the app runs. So as you can see, the app it greets you with a warm message. Welcome to Demanches. So what I'm first gonna type in is the current day time. It is 8:43. So I would type it as 843. Press check time. It tells me it's the time of day, morning. Now I can clear this option, which clearly works, and enter the time again, 843. Check time, time of day, morning, view meal. It takes me to the breakfast page, and I am introduced to various meals to my choosing. And let's say I'm feeling the bacon wrapped French toast. I simply pick my item, press the proceed button, and it takes me back to the home screen with a nice toast saying, "Your meal shall be prepared shortly." Let's try that again, and let's say I'm not feeling having breakfast, and I prefer having like, I don't know, a brunch, lunch, or snack. So if I want to have a snack, I'll type in a time of 16:04. Check time. It's the mid afternoon, and when I press click view meal, it takes me to snack time, and I'm presented with different meals. And same thing. So the user can do this as many times as they want to, and no errors will occur, and the app not resulting in the app not crashing. So with the, we've seen how the design on the app is functionality and the following pictures. With regards to the pictures, I've inserted them on my Gradle on my drawable file underneath the app folder. So we go to app folder, scroll down to resources, then go to drawable. And I've inserted various pictures which you see before you in the XML files of the menus. So that so far we've displayed the functionality of the app, the display, and as you can tell, this app works perfectly. So now, final thing to test is if will the app exit. We can click and to find out to back to the home screen with a nice toast saying your meal shall be prepared shortly. Let's try that again, and let's say I'm not feeling having breakfast, and I prefer having like, I don't know, a brunch, lunch, or snack. So if I want to have a snack, I'll type in a time of 16:04. Check time. It's the mid afternoon, and when I press click view meal, it takes me to snack time, and I'm presented with different meals. And same thing. So the user can do this as many times as they want to, and no errors will occur, and the app not resulting in the app not crashing. So with the, we've seen how the design on the app is functionality and the following pictures. With regards to the pictures, I've inserted them on my Gradle on my drawable file underneath the app folder. So we go to app folder, scroll down to resources, then go to drawable. And I've inserted various pictures which you see before you in the XML files of the menus. So that so far we've displayed the functionality of the app, the display, and as you can tell, this app works perfectly. So now, final thing to test is if will the app exit. We can click and to find out, and there you go. By this indication, it indicates that the app is no longer running by means of although the app closed, it is also not running in the background. In terms of if it were to run in the background, it would look like this. So the app would still run in the background, but what I've alternatively done, I provided a function to shut it down completely where it does not run in the background. Hence, you see, you see the app not running in my Android Studio. So, and that's my app, my meal suggestion app titled The Munchies, and I hope Hera will enjoy this app. Thank you guys for watching the video. Please make sure to like and subscribe. The subscription button is down below. Leave a like, comment, and till the next video. Peace out. And there you go. By this indication, it indicates that the app is no longer running by means of, although the app closed, it is also not running in the background. In terms of, if it were to run in the background, it would look like this. So the app would still run in the background, but what I've alternatively done, I provided a function to shut it down completely where it does not run in the background. Hence, you see the app not running in my Android Studio. So, and that's my app, my meal suggestion app titled The Munchies, and I hope Hera will enjoy this app. Thank you guys for watching the video. Please make sure to like and subscribe. The subscription button is down below. Leave a like, comment, and till the next video. Peace out.
We coding with Nhlanhla. Hey, hey, hey. We coding with Nhlanhla. Hey, hey, hey. Coding with Nhlanhla.
Okay, sorry, my bad.